Back now with Today Goes Green and some living walls that we're surrounded by here on our plaza. And you may be asking, what is that? We'll take a look. Popping up in cities around the world like London, Chicago, Washington, and New York, vertical gardens called living walls are all over the place. Attached to buildings, hotels, tube stations, airports, schools, and private homes.
The plants stay rooted in 2 to 4 inches of soil.
They come in all different shapes and sizes. In Chile, one of the largest living walls is 17,000 square feet and stands 17 stories high. But these vegetative structures don't just look pretty.
Green walls have a number of different benefits. They conserve water, they purify the water, they purify the air, both indoors and out. And they're a great way to grow fruits and vegetables in a really small footprint.
This is peppermint, see? First.
Environmental educator Stephen Ritz is dedicated to bringing living walls to some of the country's roughest urban areas, concrete jungles where there's little room for trees and gardens.
Plants could grow up and out off walls. Isn't that kind of cool?
Here in East Harlem, he's teaching kids how to create a new kind of graffiti.
This is green graffiti because we're changing landscapes, we're changing mindsets, and we're giving kids brand new ways to configure themselves, their communities, and we're taking forlorn and abandoned and underused spaces and we're turning them into highly productive, beautiful places.
And we are joined this morning by Stephen Ritz. He's an educator, along with some New York City school kids who are helping us do some planting this morning. Stephen, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us about these living walls. And you're being helped by the Center for Green Schools, and you're really an ambassador for them. Why does this help students? What do they learn?
Well, when students get to interact with something like this, it's inspirational, it's aspirational, and where we learn matters. So when kids can come to a school and see something so inspiring, so beautiful, and literally eat off a wall in school, it changes where we learn, how we learn, and drives engagement forward. Because buildings are a tool.
I was going to say there's multiple levels to this. I mean, and you mentioned just a couple of them. I mean, for one thing, they're learning about healthy eating, and don't they sometimes eat what we're growing here?
Well, in one of my programs, we've grown enough food to feed 450 people. And that's a game changer. I myself have just lost 100 pounds, but my kids are losing weight. And when they see it and they grow it, they eat it. And where they learn matters, and they realize that they can change behaviors, mindsets, landscapes, classrooms. It's really been a transformational tool.
And your classroom is actually in the Bronx and sometimes in Harlem. And what does it mean to have this beautiful greening of what sometimes can feel like a concrete jungle?
Well, for some of us, we do live in a concrete jungle, but when you can put 100, 200, 300 plants indoors in a classroom year-round, kids learn to nurture. And when they learn about nurture, they learn about nature. And when they learn about nature, they aspire to things they've never imagined before. Well, I call it STEM plus A for art, aspiration, and advocacy.
I think obviously it's great for kids, but a lot of people are thinking these are beautiful. Is this hard to pull off, these kinds of living gardens, as we call them?
Well, these guys started this morning, and look what we've got. We put them up there, and we had people teaching Mr. Roker this morning. It's really easy. I think farming outdoors is hard, but it's inclusive. We have kids who can't always be outside for environmental reasons, some kids who are allergic to sun. Here, we can farm all year long, indoors, in a classroom, bell-to-bell engagement, and that, to me, is truly inspirational.
It really is inspirational and beautiful, and I should mention, actually, the Center for Green Schools is going to be donating these living walls that we're working on in the plaza this morning to various New York City public schools.
Right, I'm thrilled about that. That's part of our Green Apple Day of Service.
All right, Stephen Ritz, it's great to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you kindly.
And coming up next, Pierce Brosnan on his new movie and turning 60. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Thank you.